Hi and welcome to this video for Datalink's Warehouse Manager for X3. In this video I'm going to be carrying out looking at the receipts process within the handheld and how our application is embedded within X3. So on the touch screen we're going to select the option receipt, and this brings up a sub-menus of various inbound transactions that we can provide on the handheld. The first thing I'm going to do is a fairly straightforward and simple miscellaneous receipt, just to give you a feel for how the product operates. Okay. So again, on the handheld, on the touch screen, we operate the miscellaneous receipts, and this brings up the first of the transaction questions. These questions are configurable and set up via a workflow that we have within the product. So up on the screen it's asking, okay, you're carrying out a miscellaneous receipt, which is fantastic. Now what I want you to tell me is the reason why you're doing that miscellaneous receipt. So here we look at this and we get the drop down table. Now that table is actually coming from X3 itself, the reason codes and such. If we just drop back into X3 for a moment, we can come down here and look at the miscellaneous tables of the favourites bar at the top there, and here you can see this is the list of options that we have, which absolutely mirrors across into the handheld. So if you want other reason codes, then you can place these into X3 and they'll automatically pop across onto the handheld at the appropriate time. In this case, on the handheld, I'm going to pick up just a straight internal receipt, confirm that on the touch screen of the handheld, and now it's asking me to scan the product that I'm physically going to receive into the warehouse itself. In this case, I have some product barcodes set alongside me, so I scan the product itself. Okay. And now you can see here that they've got the quality of that code that's being brought into the warehouse coming up on the screen. Once again, we mirror all the various quality status codes that we have in X3 up onto the handheld. In this case, we'll bring this in Q status, confirm that on the handheld, and now it's starting to say, okay, fine, I know what you're bringing in, I know what the product is, I know the quality you're bringing that on. And based on that set of rules, it's now recommending a location that product should be placed in. In some cases it might be the dock. In this case it's presented me with the location D001. So just ask the operator to confirm where that product's being placed as it comes in. This location can be defaulted, so if a site always puts the product into the dock, then we can just have that automatically default to the dock and just get them to confirm it or accept it. Okay, so in this case D001, and that's what I'm going to place it in. Okay, now asking me for the quantity that I'm receiving. So the quantity is the physical quantity of units. You can see the unit of measure also being shown on the screen here. So in this case it's units. So I'm going to place 190 into that's the quantity that's on the delivery, and that's what's being bought in. Okay, once we're happy with that, we can confirm up on the handheld, and that's placed, done the transaction, booked it into stock. You might have heard on the background of the noise there a label printer running to produce a label, and this, as you'll notice, has a tracking number based on it, and this tracking number we can use as a pallet number, a box number, to actually track the product onwards. These labels are definable. They're actually sat in the label depository within X3, and the handheld can pull them at appropriate times. Because one of the things this is obviously done is a transaction into X3 itself. So here you can see a transaction by date on the in X3, which should be a fairly familiar screen to you. And if I just do a quick search here you can see this product. It was BSM03, which was the product that I scanned. You can see the quantity when it was posted. Here you can see, because I brought it in as a QC status, it's raised the QC request as you would expect it to. There's the quantity of 190, and that tracking number I was talking about has been populated into identifier 1 field within X3. Okay, and of course the location you can see there. So from that handheld, what you can see is we've actually booked the product in. Yeah, very simple miscellaneous receipt, but you can hopefully see the way that the product operates. Okay, so we'll go into the receipts process here, and we're going to bring in a purchase order receipt. On purchase orders now, I've set up a number of purchase orders already on the system, rather than to go through the process of showing you how purchase orders are set up within Sage. I've actually created those already. So here you can see there's various ways that I can sort and select the purchase order number. We reckon that there's three key bits of information on inbound product. We know the order number, hopefully it's printed on the actual paperwork itself. There's the physical supplier, hopefully that's on the paperwork, or maybe even on the side of the vehicle making the delivery, and you've got the product in front of you, so you know the product code. Any of these can be used to get back to the purchase order number that you're trying to receive. In this case, I'm going to use the supplier code. So I know that the supplier in this case starts with B, so it's brought me down from Sage all those suppliers that start with B. I placed the order on a company called Bike City, so that's the one that I'm going to bring in. Select that up on the handheld, and now you can see all the outstanding orders, purchase orders for that supplier. Now these are outstanding purchase orders that have product lines that are waiting to come in. If there's nothing waiting on the order, it doesn't get pushed down to the handheld. So I select the order that I want to bring in, and here you can see this has got two lines awaiting receipt. At this stage I can scan the product code, or a barcode that's on the product code. That might be the supplier reference code, it could be the Sage part number. There's a number of codes that we can scan at this stage, particularly if they've been set up in the cross-reference tables. So in this case I'm going to select VSM01. Okay, and that brings back to the screen, again very similar to the miscellaneous receipts you would have seen a moment ago, except now we're actually referencing it in against the purchase order. Okay, and we click confirm to bring it in at a set status. This time I'm bringing it in at status A. Again, it's recommending D001 as a location, which I accept, and the quantity. Now I can see there's 100 outstanding here, so I'm going to bring 100 in. Okay, collected all the information on that product that I'm bringing in. If this was a lot tracked or a date sensitive product, then those questions would also be asked at that stage. If you're working with GS1 standard barcodes, then we can extract out lot numbers, serial numbers, batch numbers, expiry dates, etc. From the barcode as it scans, as opposed to having to enter it individually and the fields go through. Okay, we confirm that, and that will carry out the transaction. Again, you would have heard the label printer churning out another label to go onto the product, and just complete that so it goes back to the menu. And here you can see, if I search on here, you can see we've got that 100 product in, and it's coming, and there's the tracking number, etc. You see the difference in the status because I bought one in A, the miscellaneous receipt of a moment ago in Q. So hopefully you can see we're building this, and this is live data over the wireless network directly into X3 as it goes along. Okay. By this stage you're seeing the general flow of how our application works and drives forward. Works order completions is much the same. Difference here is we're working against a works order as opposed to anything else. So here I can select a works order receipt, bring in the product, and it's asking me for the unit of measure that I'm bringing it in. So I'm going to bring it in inches. Confirm that. It tells me that there's 12 outstanding. Again, it's been back to the data and the works order within X3, and it's displaying it up, so into 12 in this case. Okay, and asking me the status. Am I happy with that as a status? Yes, I am. And the lot number, as I mentioned before, you can see that this product's lot tracked, so it's actually asking me for the lot number of the product. Again, normally you would barcode this in. I've keyed it in this case, and the location that I'm going to place that in. Okay. It asks if I want to complete the works order line. No, I don't in this case. I might have some more coming down. Okay. And that's created the works order and details within X3. Okay. So let's complete in this video for a moment. I've shown three different means of booking product into the warehouse, generating the pallet numbers, etc. You can see that all that information and transactions are going straight back into X3 itself. Thank you for your time.